Alright, we're going to be out here doing another mobile mechanic work day. This is a 2015 Dodge Journey. We're going to be doing spark plugs, oil change, air filter, cabin air filter, and pour a little bit of fuel injector cleaner in the gas tank. Stay tuned. Alright, so we're going to start out with the most pain in the ass part. The only thing that requires us to get under the car, and that is the oil change. Alright, so it looks like that drain plug is super chewed up. So we're going to have to use a special socket like this one. If it'll focus there. We're going to have to use something like that to get it off. I got a couple different sizes here, and luckily the customer's providing a new one. Ended up having to use some vice grips because this is originally supposed to be a 13 millimeter, and those sockets I had were too big, so this ended up getting it loose for me, thankfully, because stripped drain plugs can be a nightmare sometimes, really. Draining out. We'll go ahead and do this filter as well. This is on a 2.4 liter 2015 Dodge Journey, by the way. Just gotta wait for that to finish draining, and I can pull that filter off. I'm gonna just spin it off, let it drain, spin the new one on, and I'm gonna move up top for the rest. Alright, new oil filter, not stripped drain plug. On to the next part. Alright, 5 quarts back in. On to the next part. Alright, got the glove box out. You see where our cabin filter goes. Couple tabs there. Pull this guy out. Okay. And we'll go ahead and put the new one in. Perfect. Let me put this back on. Clips into place. And you put your glove box back on. Then we'll do the spark plugs. Alright, on to the last part, the fun part. Spark plugs. There we go. That's weird, that just pulled right out of there. I don't like that. Just pull these bad boys out of there. A lot of times, guys, you don't even need to unplug these unless you got like no slack on the wire. This one I'll probably have to unplug, but most of the time you can just pull them out of there. Set those screws up there. We'll go ahead and crack all of these loose by hand. Whoops-a-daisy. Don't drop stuff while you're working. And no, I didn't break it, for those of you who are wondering. Got that loose. Now we'll take our good old magnet. Oop. Come on now. There's 3 and 4 icky spark plugs. Alright, no need to gap these plugs. They are double iridium. If you try to gap spark plugs with precious metals on them, you could damage them. Gapping spark plugs is kind of a thing of the past, it seems, at this point. Alright, we're going to screw those in by hand, several turns. Make sure we're not stripping nothing out. That one seems a little iffy. Alright, it's good. Alright. Okay, then we'll go ahead, give these a last little snug with an actual ratchet, because this little gun I'm using is extremely low powered. Just saves you from cranking as much with your hands. Alright. Go ahead and put all of these coils back. Okay. There's something wrong with the locking tab on this one here. I don't know what's going on with that. Seems like it's plugged in though. I feel like those things break all the time. All right. All right, all finished up. So I'm going to go ahead and let the customer know that we're done. We're going to go ahead and move to the next job. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so unfortunately the second job we went to was an 06 Grand Cherokee, supposed to be a transmission fluid service, and it's one of those stupid dealer use only caps in the dipstick tube, so there was no way to accurately check the level after I drained the fluid. Luckily the customer did agree to go ahead and purchase one, so they have a dipstick moving forward. And so we're just going to go ahead and reschedule that job for next week and get that done. The job I'm heading to now is a no-start inspection on, I believe, a GMC Acadia. They're having a whole bunch of issues with lights and warnings, and kind of seems like alternator issue, but I guess they've already had the alternator replaced, so we're going to go ahead and see if maybe they put a faulty alternator on it, or if there's something going on with the computer circuit. So stay tuned for that. Alright boys, last job of the day unfortunately didn't go too well either. It was a 2012 GMC Acadia. I put a small clip right before this of what I did to it. But apparently he was having a bunch of crazy issues where the alternator was going bad, all the lights were coming on, gauges doing crazy stuff. But he had the alternator replaced, and then it worked fine for a couple months, and now it's doing something similar, except it just outright won't start anymore. I got there, of course the battery's totally dead, so I put my jumper cables on it for a while, since unfortunately the good old jump box was kind of dead and needing to be charged. So I let it sit on there for a little while, and he's trying to call his interlock company to have them figure something out, because it's of course got one of those on there. He's got to blow into it, and when those systems are on the car, guys, you gotta either pass on the job, or you gotta just really know what you're doing, because that thing is probably what caused the battery to die, and I told the customer that. But what the interlock company is saying is that we're allowed to go ahead and disconnect it, which they did a pretty bad job of installing it, if I do say so myself. But I told him, unfortunately for liability purposes, I cannot be the one to disconnect that system. But if he has it disconnected and we're able to isolate it from the vehicle, and if he goes ahead and has the battery charged, which I did as a courtesy, remove the battery for him so he could have it charged up somewhere. If we do those two things, then I told him I'd be willing to come out and take another look at the job. But for right now, I just charged a drive fee and you know, just try to help the customer out a little bit. So as a recap for today, we had one successful job and we got a couple of drive fees, and sometimes that's just the way it goes. You don't always get a super full, super money making day, you know. Sometimes you pull up and everything goes to shit, but you got to stay positive. You got to get out there the next day and you got to get that bread. Appreciate you guys rolling with me once again. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and if you're interested in having the videos notify you right away, go ahead and hit that notification bell. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.